If you like this shirt, hit up my Instagram merch page at Lifeline Merch X and DM me for pricing and sizes. Hey yo, salute to the people. It's the Social Forecast. It's the realest channel online. If you're not subscribed, you're out your fucking mind. Alright, so let's talk about some things. It's been a little while since I've done a topic like this. I'm going to try and keep it as truncated as possible. But if you've been following this channel at all, then you know that I come across certain memes, posts, discussions online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I get in the comment section, and depending on the topic, if it's one that I feel like fits this platform and what I typically cover, then I bring it to y'all for further discussion. And yeah, I do the customer reviews, I do the customer service assessments, I do the social issues. I'm selective, but depending on what it is, I'll touch on certain political points. It's been a while since I've done that. But mostly it's the relationship, the everyday relating, the human condition, the situations we find ourselves in, along with the ways that we choose to maneuver in, through, and around those different situations. So having said that, came across a post on Facebook that I thought was pretty interesting. At first, when I saw this post, I was like, yeah, nah, they about to kill a person who posted this in the comments. I thought for sure. Now, I don't know if it's because of what's going on with this worldwide pandemic. I don't know if it's because of how many people have been passing away recently, throughout this past year, and because of the movements that are going on and what's going on with the police and in politics and different legislation and the whole Black Lives Matter. And I don't know if it's people are just maybe finally starting to think community and understanding, and if the tide is starting to change. Because I swear 5-10 years ago, a post like this would have, in my opinion, almost guaranteed the person who posted it would have gotten killed in the comments. This is what the post said. It said, is prostitution by choice or is it by condition? And then a little bit beneath that, and slightly smaller font, said, for matured minds only. I jumped straight to the comment section. And interestingly enough, the majority of the comments that I saw, without reading through the long paragraphed ones, people were either taking the position that it's by condition or a little bit of both. I didn't see too many people say, nah, it's by choice, period, and that's it. So I started thinking, what is the reason for that? If people feel like prostitution is either by condition, meaning a person is in a situation, either they're out on the street or they are not, educated to a high enough degree that they feel they can become gainfully employed and be productive, from a financial standpoint in society, or they're trying to put themselves through school. We do hear situations like that, whatever the case may be. But if people feel like prostitution is by condition and a little bit of choice, but they do give credence to and merit to it being more of a choice that a person makes because of a condition that they're dealing with, more so than it's just by choice. And this is the bigger point that I want to touch on at the end, as to why I'm even touching on this topic, really, because there's a correlation that I want to draw between this topic, this question, and another issue that has been gaining media attention because of recent legislation that has been attempted to be passed and that has been challenged, and that I feel very strongly about. And I'll touch on that near the end of this vlog. And again, I will try not to make it too long. Capitalism. versus prostitution. What is prostitution really but another form of capitalism in a free trade market? Prostitution is the oldest known business, period. It goes back to the beginning of human life. As long as there have been humans on this planet, in some way, shape, or form, prostitution has existed. Some people will argue that if you're in a committed relationship, or if you're in a living situation, or in a marriage, or even just seriously dating someone, that is a form of prostitution. You're trading sex with a partner for the things that that partner expects in the way of support, whether that support be financial, mental, emotional, whatever. Yeah, it's dumbed down all the way to like its rawest form when I say that, but it still fits in that realm, even if it's just on the outskirts. I'll leave that for y'all to think about. Now, prostitution is the oldest business known to man. It's been around since there has been human beings walking the face of this earth. Why is it also one of the most controversial things that can be discussed in social circles? Is it because people are innately uncomfortable with talking about sex in social circles if there is any kind of exchange for it? Even though, as I previously stated, even in a relationship, sex is bartered and exchanged. Even if it's not, overtly out there, it's implied by the nature of relationships. You have a lot of women out here who say things like, I'm not going to have sex with any man if they don't make a certain amount of money, or if they don't have this type of job, or if they don't have their own place, or if they can't help me pay my bills. Yeah, y'all might not like it. That's a form of prostitution. It's just not packaged as that because it's in a relationship, and typically with one person at a time. Let's get off of that. And here's the correlation. Pro-lifers take issue with the subject of abortion because they believe that an unborn child, even a fetus, is a life, and that life should have the same right that everybody else has who's walking and breathing and living outside of the womb, should have access to the three most basic human rights there are: the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't have the right to liberty or the pursuit of happiness if you don't have life. And life is, at the foundation, the most basic right there is in nature, period. No one person or entity or corporation or government should ever have the right to end someone's life. So this is where the debate has always come in. You pit that against a woman's choice as to what happens with her body. Follow me, because this platform, just built on free thought, which is built on not just critical thinking, but also abstract thinking. These two are cousins here, this correlation I'm about to draw. We can look at prostitution as being so appalling. We can look at it as being so degrading, demeaning, so taboo, right? That how could you trade your body for money? How could you barter sex for money, and with strangers? It's not only dangerous, but it's disgusting, for lack of a better word. Okay. Why does that sentiment not translate to, outside of the pro-lifer community, abortion? Why, when we talk about abortion, it's a woman's right to choose what she does with her body And that's, for the most part, legal. Although there are states and there are governments that are trying to change that. And then why? And that involves ending a life, which I have touched on and given my point and my opinion on in several other vlogs on this platform, so I won't touch on it here again. But why is that so vastly different? Or even if only minusculely different, why is that different at all from that same woman saying, oh, well, if I have a right to choose what happens to my body, if I have a right to choose to strip life from out of my body, then why can't I have the right to offer my body parts, offer sex, offer, intimacy for the exchange of currency, whatever that currency looks like, whether it be room and board, whether it be actual physical money. And then I'll even take it a step further. How come it's against the law to sell your actual body parts, organs? Why is that illegal? Why is that not allowed? How can the government say that it's illegal to put a price on human organs, but it's not illegal to kill a whole human being, even if it's just a fetus from out of the womb? And then it's also illegal to use your body, engage in sex with your body for profit. When you put these three things together, and I take the tagline from this post, for matured minds only, because not everybody thinks this way. But when you put these three things side by side, prostitution, sex for profit, abortion, a woman's right to choose what happens with her body, and the criminalization of human organs being sold on the black market, because of course the government has to regulate and has to be able to, control and be able to benefit from the exchange of organs for people who may need transplants. And how come that doesn't impede on a person's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? So let's tie it all together hopefully without making this too long. I agree that prostitution in large part is by condition. I don't believe that there are too many people who would have the perfect life, however you would sum it up, the American dream, education, money, house, the whole 9 yards, the picket fence, all that, and then choose to get into the industry of prostitution, whatever that looks like. Because even though it's commercialized, the porno industry is still prostitution. The pornography industry is still prostitution. It is what it is. These people can say they're actors, but you're still engaging in actual sexual intercourse and you're being paid for it. It's still prostitution. It's more legalized because it's more regulated and it's taxed, and that's the biggest reason, in my opinion, why certain things are legal versus illegal when you start to think about, what took so long for marijuana to be legalized. But I don't want to get off topic. But again, regulation and being able to tax it, in my opinion, the biggest reasons why the government chooses to make certain things illegal versus other things. Whatever. I'm talking about the social viewpoint and the humanistic condition that we find ourselves in that causes some people to choose left, straight on the path, or right when they reach that fork or that juncture in the road. So I believe that prostitution in large part is based on condition. A person in a certain situation or condition in their life that they're trying to get out of, or a situation that they're trying to better for themselves, and a little bit of past experiences, which is the sum total of the reason why all of us do the things that we do, is what leads a person to choose, this is the route that I'm going to take, whether it be temporary or long-term. So, if you can agree, and if not, of course, I would like to know why, but if you could agree that prostitution, a person chooses that path in part based on the condition that they're currently in their life. Obviously, it is a choice, but a choice based on a condition that they're in. Then where do you stand on abortion and the taking of a life? You can't separate the two. I don't want to just hear comments about why prostitution is wrong and why it's not moral. I don't want to hear about why abortion is wrong and why abortion is not moral. If a woman has the right to choose, and if that's the position that you take, why does that have to stop at abortion? Why is that not, and why can that not be extended to prostitution? Because with prostitution versus abortion, one entails taking a life, right? If you see a fetus as a life, taking a life versus a victimless crime. What's your opinion? I appreciate the people who watch these types of videos on my channel, and I appreciate the people who engage and who comment, because this channel is not an entertainment-based, a ratchet content type channel. This channel, and the reason why it's a slow build, is because the content that I cover here, again, requires thinkers, right? Not just critical thinkers, but abstract thinkers. And the people who choose to engage in the content on this channel, I appreciate all of them, because I don't do these vlogs for people to look at the content and say, I simply agree or I disagree. Why? That's the point of this channel. It's not about right or wrong. It's not about agree or disagree. It's about, where do you stand? Do you have a position? What is that position and why? So let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. It's a social forecast. Black lives in America don't matter. I wish they did, but they don't. We're seeing proof of that everywhere. It's a social forecast. Let me know what y'all think about this one. I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.